Vibras? Cause we know the Vibras.
Welcome back to another episode of the You Know the Vibras podcast. You already know who it is. It's your boy Michael Carrasco, coming from Houston, Texas. And as always, my boy Juan the Don, who is currently in the motherland, Dominican Republic. What's going on, my man? What's going on?
Chilling, bro. You know, it's hot over here. Can't compare it to you. You said it's cold, right?
Yeah, man. For some reason, it's cold in Houston. There's a cold front coming from the north, so it's been cold the last couple of days.
You know, that's hard to believe. I never really someone told me the other day that it was snowing last year, I believe, in Dallas. And
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that in Texas it actually snowed. But you know what? I'm not complaining about you guys getting, snow because you were bragging when I was in Chicago about how good the weather was. So
Right.
now I
But
could use that against you.
that's true. But when I mean cold, it's not like, like Chicago cold where it gets like 16 degrees or, that low. Like cold over here will be like 45 degrees. Unfortunately, in the next couple of days, we're going to have some days where it's like 30 degrees. But it doesn't, when I mean cold, it's not like, like I need 3 jackets on type of cold, which is good, I
That's
guess.
something. No, that's something I do want to talk about. Is these other states that, like, for instance, like say California, any West Coast state, or like
Hmm.
say a Florida on the East Coast, um, they tend to when they get to around 60 degrees, they try to bundle up. I'm like, that's great weather. That's weather to like go to the beach.
Right.
But
Right.
like when
For
it's like
me,
60
yeah.
degrees, they have earmuffs, gloves, coats. Sometimes I feel like it's an exaggeration, but I don't know. It just I find it funny. If you're from the East Coast or if you're from any place that's cold, we like to joke around with those that are not familiar with the cold weather when they over exaggerate and bundle up a little too extra. You know what I mean? So
Right. It's like if it's 60 degrees, 50 degrees, I'm just putting a hoodie on. Like the other day, I ordered something on DoorDash. It was like 55 degrees outside. My man's had a whole jacket on, like winter coat on. I was like, man, it's not that cold. But I guess
yeah,
once once you get used to, having the weather be like 70 and above, 70 will be like the coldest that you really experience, and then once it drops below that's when you're like, man, it's cold.
right.
I
Yeah, I
think
would
that's
say. Yeah, I would say the only thing is like right now I'm struggling with. I mean, I think I'm slowly getting used to the warm weather now again. But at
hmm
first, it was an adjustment because it was very cold in Chicago the past couple of days, and it caught me off guard when I did, walk out the airport. And
bam,
yeah,
90 degrees.
but I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's
So
true. That's true. So let's before we get into the talk today, what do you have a quote for us? I don't want to
yeah,
forget. I don't want to forget again.
yeah. All right. It's a simple quote. You could bet as well if it's anonymous or not, because it is.
I'm putting $5 on it.
The quote says, "What is coming is better than what's gone."
Mm,
So it's very straightforward. Basically, what the future has for you, it's better than what the past had for you. In some cases, it depends how you
right.
want to put it. You could relate this to say any jobs, any relationships, past friendships, past careers. So just don't get too invested into those things that are in the past and try to move on and just know that what is coming, can be potentially better for you. So don't get discouraged if something did not go your way the first time. Have faith and just let the rest play itself out, and expect for the best to happen, which most of the time does happen. You just have to be patient and let it come to you. It's a lot of that's a huge problem. A lot of people try to overdo like the nature of things and get
Right.
discouraged when they don't happen when they want it to happen. Sometimes it's better for it to happen when you least expect it because it can lift you up as an individual when you least expect it to happen, and it's kind of like a win-win in a way. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a good thing and a good problem to have. I feel like when you least expect good things to happen to you and they happen to you.
I agree, and I mean, talking from experience, me, I run a couple businesses, and in the past, those businesses didn't fail, so I'm starting a new one, and I'm optimistic to looking at the outcome. Uh,
Right.
what that quote brings is, you can go two ways. You can either learn from the past, or you can just look back on it and live in the past. But
Right.
in my opinion, the way to live a happy life is to you know learn from the past and continue through your future.
Exactly. Grow from it.
Exactly, that's the
Grow
right
from
way
it.
to do
Right.
it. Oh
Exactly.
man.
Damn. Se fue la luz. You in DR?
Nah, bro. Not in the yard. It looks like my light turned off. All right. Yeah, we back now. I'm not in the yard, unfortunately. Unfortunately, not in the yard.
That
Uh,
is, we mentioned the DR phrase because those who don't know, depending on where you are, but most of the time in DR, DR is famous for the electricity, going out, and they say "se fue la luz," and like that means like all the power went out, and you just sitting there in the dark.
right.
Unless you have, unless your family is, wealthy enough to have a inversor, which is like a plant, a power
The generator.
plant, generator, right? But yeah, that's
Yeah, and
funny.
speaking of that, as far as I remember, when I was little going to DR, the light will always go out around the same time. Where we used to live, where my family is from over there, usually between 1 to 3 o'clock. That was like the frame that we already know. All right, lights about to go out. We might as well go outside and do what kids do it outside.
Right. Exactly. Well, yeah, because normally the whole barrio is the
Hmm.
one that like the whole the neighborhood experiences the same thing at the same time. So
Yep.
that's something that's unique. But uh, but yeah, let's keep on going with this conversation though, man. What do you have like? What have you been doing outside of the norm at work and everything? How's everything going down there in Texas outside of the cold front? Everything good?
Man, everything is good. Yeah. The only thing I'm mad about is I went to the grocery store yesterday, get my essentials, a little bit of food, little things that we needed for the apartment. Guess how much that boy paid, man? Almost $400 for some groceries and like cleaning stuff and all the stuff that we needed.
Wow.
Yeah, man, prices are going up. So this is what I learned, what I've been learning, the process of being on my own now, no parents around, is when
No more food stamps.
well, never, haven't had those in a while.
Oh, my fault. Well, you never had my fault. I mean, I'm sorry. I experienced food stamps. I'm sorry that you had
Yeah,
them. I'm sorry.
we all experience that. But
Have
fortunately,
you?
yeah. At the beginning, yeah.
Hmm.
Fortunately, our both our mothers been doing really well the last couple years. I would say the last 5 years or so, where uh, we've been able to sustain ourselves for the most part. But what I learned is when you go to the grocery store, get that discount card. Yeah, get that, because when I saw 400 and then I scanned my little cart and that joint dropped down to like 370, man, listen, may not be a lot, but those $30 add
It's
up.
something though. Exactly, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. And sometimes, like, say these big like in Chicago. I mean, in Maryland, I never experienced Costco, but Costco is
Right.
it's similar to Sam's Club.
Hmm.
You get perks. You get like the gas, which is way cheaper than the main gas that you tend to get like
Hmm.
outside of area, whatever. But yeah, it has their perks. So definitely look into those membership things, opportunities that you can get into. But yeah, so outside of that, what else, man? Outside of your huge splurge.
Apart from that, man, been going to the gym. I don't know if you can tell, but I did lose a couple pounds. I feel I'm feeling better. Um, Feeling a lot more energized. And yeah, I've been getting in the habit of eating a lot healthier. Living out the fast food, trying to stay away from that, and mainly I've been cooking a lot at home. Uh, chicken, steak, and all that good stuff. How
Right.
about you, man?
Okay.
How about you? How's the trip treating you?
So starting from the trip itself, it was a smooth ride. Well, I had a connecting flight. Unfortunately, I hate connecting flights with a
Oh, I
passion.
hate those too.
Comment down below if you hate connecting flights as well. It's just the problem of like you go into a place and people are like arriving to their destination and knowing you have to get onto another flight. So
Right,
that
right.
just sucks. But yeah, we went to Miami first time in Miami, I guess. Looked nice from the aerial view, but it
Mm-hmm.
was dope. I mean, it was a smooth ride. It just sucks. I feel like when you're tall, flying first class is probably your best option.
Mm-hmm.
Cause my knees, man, they go through it. And I was in like the main cabin, whatever it's called, like the basic one or whatever.
The economy.
And American Airlines, and it felt pretty. It was pretty tight. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah.
Noriel was with me, and Noriel had a ton of space his knees, which
Oh
made
man,
me
yeah,
really
he's
jealous.
small, man. He's small. I know he
So,
was
but yeah,
enjoying that other leg room.
but yeah, it was an interesting flight. We mentioned in previous episodes before. I think it was flying or traveling with the Vibras that episode. We mentioned the Dominican uh not trends but habits or whatever that we have when traveling, or what would you say it's called? Dominican, yeah, habits, right?
Habits, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when you arrive, everyone when you arrive in the motherland, everyone tends to clap, right? This one was pretty odd, bro, because the pilot was a bit upset, because we, like, not we, but most of the passengers were taking their time to get onto the flight, and he kept mentioning, "Oh, we're gonna get there on time and a little bit before, if everyone gets on the plane and gets settled," some stuff like that, right? He was like, "We're waiting on
Mm-hmm.
10 more passengers. We're waiting on 10 more." He kept saying that. You could tell that he was like upset.
Getting aggravated, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever. We got on the flight, and he was one of those pilots that didn't even talk like anyway. Like, when you're arriving, he's like, "Oh, the local time here is blah, blah." He didn't say any of that. Or "Welcome to Santo Domingo." He didn't say any of that. We were just flying, bro. Out of nowhere, the wheels hit the ground. Boom! Everybody like, "Whoa!" Everybody thought like we crashed or something, bro. Like it was
Came out
odd,
of
bro. It was just
nowhere,
odd.
huh?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, and it was awkward, bro. There was an older lady next to us, and she was just like scared, bro, and like she held on to Noriel quick as up. And yeah, then the clap started to come after, but it was odd though. It was very odd. This is the first time I experienced a weird landing, and yeah, it was just awkward. But we got here. Another thing, one of my pet peeves when traveling. The problem with Dominicans, you got to tell them a couple hours before. Like, say you arrive. So say you arrive at 3. Tell them you're arriving at like 2 or 1, because out of all my times traveling, I'm always waiting for the person to pick me up. It's not like they pick me up or they waiting for me to arrive. No, it's like I always got to wait on them, and it's just very like, you've been traveling all day, you just want to get home and whatever, and it's just like, damn, like it's a little
Y'all
disheartening, a
gotta
little bit.
wait. Yeah,
and
yeah.
you and
We
you
were
don't
on
have
the
and you don't have and you don't have internet. Shout
so
out,
you
but
can't
not
really
shout out to
contact anybody.
exactly. Well, no, it's because of problems like with your company, sir, AT&T. You guys want to charge $10 a month or $10 a day for international service, which is absurd.
Hey man, I don't make up the rules. I used to work there, all right? That's
So
not
yeah,
up to
so
me. I'll take it up
so
with
yeah,
Stanky though.
so you get here and then you gotta find the chip somehow and activate it, like a chip from here, activate it. But yeah, everything was smooth outside of that. Got the rental, then came to the B&B, and everything's been smooth. I'm in a good area, everything's chill. Just been kicking back, enjoying my time. Supposed to go here soon to El Campo, so I don't know how the podcasts are gonna be next week, but we'll see.
Oh,
It's
hey,
gonna
we'll
be
figure it
it's
out.
gonna be
We'll figure it
you're
out.
gonna hear a lot of what they're called, cocks, right?
El
Yeah,
gallo.
El gallo, but in English it's cocks,
Roosters.
right? Rooster. I thought, but it was cockfight. I know, because I thought
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cockfighting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you come
It's,
on,
it,
man.
it,
Clear
it goes
clear your
both
head, bro.
ways. It,
Clear
it
your
just
head,
it
bro.
just sounds better when you say rooster, right?
You know what I'm saying,
I
bro.
know what
This
you meant. I
man.
know what you meant.
But yeah, so the problem with El Campo is you're gonna hear a lot of like roosters in the background, and
A
it's
little bit
just
of
agriculture.
everything.
little bit of
little
everything.
cow
But I'm
mooing.
excited. I'm excited to go down there, man. But no, everything so far has been smooth outside of the driving here, which is for those who have drove or driven in Dominican Republic. You're ready for war, I'd say, because here driving is very hectic. Like I was telling someone the other day, it's like I appreciate moving to Chicago and and I'd say training myself driving wise, because like driving in the big city, you got to get used to crazy driving, and like in a way, you learn like they say tigueraje, like you learn how to have some what would be the term in English? Like you learn how to have some different mannerisms when driving. Like you can't be so nice in driving. You got to know how to,
Right.
you know, cut
Stand
people
your
off
ground while you, yeah.
stand your ground is the word. Yeah, or the phrase. So yeah, so here you have to stand your ground a lot because the motorists. So basically, DR is like Chicago or New York, any big city, with
Hmm.
motorists. Motorists that don't care about anything.
Oh yeah, they
And
don't.
also include at night include no light in the streets, which is worse because the motorists don't have lights as well. So it just makes everything that much difficult, and it's just hard to do. But and people here don't really respect the laws driving. Even if, yeah, I'd say if you have any here, which it doesn't seem like. But I don't want to feel like I'm bashing the country. I just feel like the country could be so much better if people respected the laws driving here, and if simple like motorists could have lights on their thing and
Hmm.
drive within the limits, not like swerve everywhere and like cut you off and everything. It's just a little bit challenging, but I've been doing it and I'm alive, so that's good.
Yeah, regarding that, I do want to ask, what would you say is the biggest adjustment driving over there? Like, what do you have to essentially like forget about that we do here in the States, and things that you had to adapt to while driving over there?
Well, I'd say like the hidden like laws that are like the hidden laws that people create themselves. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of rule breaking. I'd say that I don't know if I should be speaking about it, but after certain times, you're not supposed to. After certain times, due to like delinquency and stuff, you can't be waiting at like red lights and
Mm-hmm.
turning. It's a lot of things you could turn like at certain times. It's tricky. And then, but if there's like they call them diamonds, if diamonds are out, like you got to be very cautious using your phone. They could easily cite you. Um, you have to be very cautious when they're out, but when they're not out, everyone's on their own. You know what I mean? And you just got to defend yourself while driving.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's very tricky, man, driving out here. But with time, you get used to it. And I've got used to it so far. It's just like I had to learn on my own. I can't keep depending on people. When I'm getting to the age where I'm gonna start doing things on my own, and I just had to learn how to drive out here because in the future I'm gonna need to again.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Now I agree with that. I agree with
But
that.
it's basically you can compare it to New York or Chicago with motorists that don't obey the law. That's it.
Yep. Everybody, pretty much you on your own over there. You're in the jungle when you're driving over there.
Literally,
I do want to
a
ask
lot of
you.
traffic too.
Yeah, yes, 100%. Especially in the capital, where that's where most people are. Traffic over there, at least from what I remember, terrible until you start hitting the country land over there. I do
Right.
want to ask, what would you say are some differences and some similarities between the U.S. and Dominican Republic?
I mean, differences I'd obviously say is the currency. Um,
Of course.
if you're from out of the country and you change your money, you get a mass amount of money like decimal wise, but it's
Mm-hmm.
honestly it comes back honestly to the same amount if you think about it. Like I've slowly been thinking like food and everything is very similar in price to back home. So people be like, "Oh,
Hmm.
things are cheap here." It's actually similar, even a little bit more expensive, depending on where you're going as well. But if you go to the countryside, that's where things are going to be way cheaper. But here in the
Yeah.
capital, I'd say it's similar to back in the states. Like for instance, I like to compare like burgers and stuff like that. Like a burger here is like 600 pesos, probably 500 pesos, and which is like 10, 12, dollars. So it's similar in price. You know what I mean? So um,
Right,
that's why
right.
I'd say that'd be the only difference. But I'd say the main challenge for me has been dealing with the pesos, like understanding it. You know what I mean? Knowing if something is reasonable in price and
Mm-hmm.
knowing if something
Knowing
is
the math, yeah.
exactly knowing the math. Which right now I think it's $1 is 54 pesos. Pesos. I try to say make it sound English. I'm sorry, pesos. But yeah, I'd say that's my main challenge so far was that adjusting or trying to get accustomed to that.
Yeah, no, I
To
agree. When I went to
yeah.
Mexico, I think that was the biggest thing is understanding that math and being able to quickly, okay, all right, that sounds reasonable. Because I was paying with
Mhm,
pesos over there, especially when I went to like the little markets and stuff. That
mhm.
was the main thing. Like understanding somebody says, all right, this is 900 pesos. Because at the time, $1 was like 20 pesos over there. So
Mhm.
you understanding, all right, I am getting a good deal for getting this.
Yeah. Something else also that I wanted to mention is tipping. Um, Tipping isn't really used here. Well, it's actually not used, but like amongst the people that are here, that live here.
Hmm.
But it's something that when you're in the United States, or at least those that do it right, you have the habit of tipping. Um, and here you don't want to feel like over tip because sometimes like couple dollars extra, tipping them is good, but you don't want to give a huge amount, which here is a huge amount. You know what I mean? So it depends. Like some pricing or some amounts, way more depending on the situation. Like
Right.
so that's something I didn't know as well. Like you can't give. I mean, it's tricky, bro. Like for instance, let's just say like you get a meal like in the United States is like 100 something dollars. You want to tip 20%, which is what like
You say if
my
it's a
math
hundred,
sucks.
it's $20.
Right, so like 20 something dollars, which here would be an absurd amount to tip. So, $5 or something would be reasonable. You know what I'm saying? So something like that. So
So what
that's
what would you say
something.
that percentage is over there when it comes to tipping? Like, would you say like 10%,
Yeah,
5%
yeah,
around
probably
that
like
range?
10%. Yeah, 10%, 10, 15% probably. Yeah. But it's something that isn't like expected here. Is what I'm saying. Tipping.
Right, right.
When you do it, it's more of like a plus that they weren't expecting. So Uh, and there's a lot of things like here I'm getting used to as well as like the gas thing. Like it's similar to like Jersey where, and I don't know what other states will do it, but here they pump the gas for you. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like there's a lot of well, not self-service uses like say in the states where you got to like pay others to do. Well, you don't have to pay nobody to do it, but they put the gas for you. Which here is there's been a lot of controversy with the gas and gas pumping. People saying that there's been like, people aren't pumping the actual gas. People just taking your money and like not pumping, enough or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So it's been a lot of like things behind closed, doors that people are saying that it's happening with the pumps. So that's why you always want to watch that if you come here and put gas. Be careful and cautious with that. Stuff like that as well. hmm
Right, 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 right. Now I agree with that.
And
Even
try. I feel like
even
yeah. Right.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I just feel like another thing I want to quickly mention is you want to try to not stand out as much as a tourist and try to learn quick because you will be very vulnerable to a lot of people here if you do look lost or confused. So try to learn quick how things work here so you don't feel taken advantage of.
Right, yeah. I was gonna ask that. What would you say? What's I would say a giveaway that you're not from that you don't live over there, that you are coming as a tourist or coming from the States. What would you say is the biggest giveaway?
I'd say driving using your signals for sure.
Mm. How
Using
about
turn
if you
signals.
if you're just walking on the street? What would you
Yeah.
say is a giveaway?
How you dress, how you dress. That's a quick giveaway. Although the dressing is starting to balance out a little bit with people in the states,
Hmm.
but I feel like just how you carry yourself, how confident you sound when you're speaking to someone. Because if you sound like iffy talking to someone, even if you know Spanish, if you seem like you know what you're talking about, they're gonna know you're not from here. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's little things like all about how you carry yourself when having a conversation with someone. They could quickly read body language and tell you're not from here if you look confused or lost. Um, and I mean, it's easy. Like if you go to like the campos or whatever, like me, if I go, say when I go to the campo, although I, grew up there and everything, every, time I got a chance to, they know I'm not from there because they never see you
Right.
here. Like first of all, I'm tall as hell, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
still not dark enough, like because I haven't been in the sun much. But they just know, bro. They just know who's a tourist and who's not. It's crazy, bro. So you just gotta try to not show out when they know you're a tourist, because then you're gonna be vulnerable to like potential delinquency and stuff like that, which
Right.
happens in all countries.
It does happen
But
in everywhere. You
but
just
some
gotta.
people ask for it though.
Mm-hmm. It's like what we said. We always say, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. Uh, don't let your guard down when you go, especially when you go to a place where you've never been before. Always have your guard up. Make sure that you're looking around. Know your surroundings. If you see something, a little sketchy, you better, head the other way.
Exactly. No, it's all about like just learning the culture quick. And if you don't know anyone, like I feel like this is the best advice I could say. Like if you don't know anyone in the country, stay with a tourist state. You know what I mean? Don't try to outdo, the people here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't do it. You know what I mean? So like if I'm going to another country and I have a friend there, I feel more safe going out with them than going to their country and going out in the streets and not knowing how things work and then run into potential problems. So I feel
Right.
like, that's another thing, because when you go to resorts, I feel like you do miss out on the beautiful parts of the country
And the
and the
good
people and
food.
the culture and the food. Exactly, exactly.
That
So
was the
yeah.
main thing, man. That's why when I went on vacation this summer, I really wanted to go to like a taco stand like on the streets and actually
Hmm.
get the authentic you know Mexican cuisine, which we did. We did we went to this little restaurant in Isla Las Mujeres. Man, whew, I'm talking about some authentic guacamole. Man, spot on,
Right.
brother. What would you say you were the most excited about this trip? I know it's been what 2 years, 3 years since the last time that you were in the
The
motherland.
pandemic. The pandemic. Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just excited to get out of the cold for sure, and come visit friends and family, and be able to enjoy vacation. While I can, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like life is about to start lifing soon,
Right.
and I won't and I won't have the opportunity to do these things. So I'm taking advantage of it
Mm-hmm.
now while I can. So when I can't do it, I don't feel like I wish I would have done it. You know what I mean? So
Nah,
it's
I
it's
feel
definitely
that.
different though. It's definitely different. I'd say, traveling on your own. Um, but it has its pros and cons. You know what I mean? You don't feel pressure
Mm-hmm.
of like having to constantly, be checking on someone or going out with someone and stuff like that. But when you are on your own, you get the opportunity to like make your own type of schedule, I guess. If you like, I mean, my
Do
thing
what
is
you
like
want
right
to do.
now, exactly in the capital, I know I'm not gonna go to the beach and stuff because it's very like city forward driven, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go to Barahona, I know I'm gonna be doing all those things. So that's why I'm excited of how I'm handling it. And Noche Buena, is gonna be coming up here shortly. Well, by the time this episode drops, it's already passed. I think, right? Yeah, the 24th.
Nah, this no. It will be a couple days before.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
No, Noche Buena is Saturday, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
So
you're
this
right.
will
Oh
this,
yeah.
this will be up way
Oh,
before
okay.
that.
Yeah. I'm thinking backwards, bro. I'm thinking like the old schedule. I'm thinking our old schedule, bro. Yeah. But
Right.
yeah, so if you are watching this and you're Dominican, Feliz Noche Buena. When you do have it, it's our big feast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm looking forward to that. Have two Thanksgivings in one year, which is good. So
Right.
yeah, I'm
Right.
gonna
Oh
eat good
man.
and stuff like that. So I'm ready for El Campo a little bit to be with
Yeah,
family and
man.
eat
And
good.
I feel that that's the part that I'm most excited about because I'm planning on going to the motherland possibly in the summer, maybe in the fall. I got to figure out my schedule, and figure
Yeah.
out when I can go. But yeah, that's one thing I'm super excited about, man. I'm super excited to go see family, and just being in a family environment. Uh, and you see all the cousins, the people that you don't get to see that often.
Right. Well, I would say when you're not from here, but you come to visit, you are lucky enough to not run into family in a way because here family has the bad habit of, asking for
Hey,
that.
this is my favorite. Y eso tenis, manín. Déjame esos tenis cuando tú te vayas.
I told you guys before, like it's crazy, like how they know when you wore these shoes and this shirt. Like they're like, oh, let me get those shoes that you wore on the 14th, for instance. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn.
bro. I'm like, dang, you been taking. I don't even remember what I wore yesterday.
So I would say I'm lucky enough because I have big feet and I'm taller, so my
So
size,
nobody fits you.
yeah. So that's a good thing in a way.
That's the same thing for me because for some reason I got the smallest feet out of my whole family, so nobody can feed. Uh, damn, nobody can 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 wear my size. Everybody's
Yeah,
wear a size bigger than me, which is pretty good, pretty good.
right.
So yeah, I feel bad for my little brother because he used to get all the all my old shoes and all the shoes that I didn't want. But now he has to buy his own now.
Right. Yes, sir. But yeah, man. I mean, not much else has happened outside of that. I've just been, slowly, taking advantage of the days. But hopefully, by the next episode, I have more things to tell you guys. Let us know what you guys want to hear as well. What you want me to do here in DR. If you want us to capture anything for you guys, if you
Hmm.
want to live stream, we could try to live stream. That would be dope. I feel like
That'll be good. Yeah,
now that we can do it. So let us know if you want to see a live stream from us when we can do it next week for you guys. So that would be dope. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
100%. Let us know in the comment section. I do have a couple questions. They're gonna be quick. The first one is, how cheap is it to get lit over there? For the
Bro,
people
that's
that
what I'm
want to
saying.
know.
That's what I'm saying. It depends what you want to drink, though. You know what I mean? Because some alcohol is cheaper. But my brother sent me a video the other day. It's like, damn, a lot of the travelers, the tourists, they call them los viajeros, the travelers. They come here and want to buy these expensive whiskeys and rums, but when they leave, they want to take the cheap stuff back, which is like, what? So you come here and
Right,
buy
right.
gold labels. You come here and buy gold labels,
Blue label.
blue labels, every black label, everything. And then you want to go back with fucking Barcelo and Brugal, Equive, and shit like that. So
Right. I can get that joint over here now.
yeah, right. So I
Like
don't know,
we
man. I
can
feel
get it
like it
now.
all.
Bring
I
us
feel
some
like
of
it
the
all
good stuff.
depends. I feel like it all depends what you want to drink, but I feel like you can definitely get lit here cheaper. Although I'm saying, bro, everything is starting to be similar, though, bro. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
starting to become similar in price.
Which is
So,
good, which means that the country is growing, the economy is getting better. That's a good sign.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So I
Last
mean, yeah, it all
question.
depends. Hmm.
Last question. You staying on Airbnb, right? You stayed at a hotel before as well, right?
Not here,
But like in the States. Based on the experience, Airbnb or hotel?
Airbnb for sure. You just
Where is
feel
that?
more. It's just more freedom. It's
Mm-hmm.
just more freedom, bro. It's more freedom. You don't have to continue going through the front desk or whatever. I mean, although this is a torre, it's like a tower. There is a front desk, but you don't have to go through there to get in. And then
Right,
if you have
right,
your car, you go through the garage and you go straight to the elevator. But
right.
yeah, Airbnb for sure. But like I said, if you're not from here, hotel might be your best bet.
Yeah. I would say unless you're going on vacation to a place where you can get an all-inclusive hotel or like resort, I would say stay in Airbnb. It's gonna be a lot cheaper.
Exactly, for sure. But yeah, man, I'm just ready. My vacation's still starting. I've only been here for like 8 or 9 days, I think. Well, 8 days
Damn,
maybe.
man.
So yeah, things are gonna start picking up when I go to Barahona though to see the family, and hopefully I can get out more and go experience the island. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah,
I'm ready for it.
100%.
So yeah, so if you want to live stream, we can definitely try and do that for you guys. Just let us know if you want that.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section. We actually know how to do it now, which is cool.
Oh,
Yeah, let it.
and apologies for the audio too, because I'm dealing with AirPods. So and
Yeah.
and I know my eyes are probably like looking somewhere else, and Michael's on this side. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's part of the being on a virtual scenario or platform, creating the content. But I know we're gonna be getting better as time goes. Hopefully soon we'll be able to make some content where we're in person for you guys. But yeah, we're still getting accustomed to this whole virtual I would say studio scenario. But yeah, let us know how we've been doing. Let us know if there's anything quality that you wish we could improve. That way we can look into it. And that's all. Like we always ask you guys, let us know what you want to hear from us, what you want us to talk about, what topics do you want to give you guys our 2 cents on. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and let us know any potential topics. We always say no one says anything, but let us know any potential topics you do want us to talk about. What else you expect from us these next couple of days here? Any wishes that you're hoping to accomplish before the year ends? And yeah, you stay tuned. We're gonna keep trying to pump out content for you guys, although we're far away from each other. Hopefully here soon. Hopefully when I get back to the States, I could try to plan something where I can come out to Houston or something and do something together. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This is super virtual content now to the fifth power. Just talking a simple conversation on how things in Dominican Republic are going and what to expect here in the next couple weeks. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, comment something positive, comment if you've ever been to Dominican Republic, or comment if you're planning on traveling anywhere outside the country here. So yeah, remember to share the video, and as always, remember to subscribe and let's